They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
On 2nd down, it's Bates. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, Bates. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so. And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 11. Now ETN to start the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
From the 16, Lawrence. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. The Jaguars at 1-8 now on the year, and they come in mired in a brutal stretch right now, losers of 8 straight games.
Could you imagine being in those coaches' rooms right now? And you remember the old expression, there's no such thing as a bad idea? That's really true right here. They're searching for any idea, anything that can galvanize this team and find a victory and get them out of this losing spin.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Jags, 18 yards, first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 10 more there and another first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Lawrence will throw. He'll find ETN out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Now Lawrence to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Wilkins. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 24-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Handoff running left is Etienne.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Lawrence under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses them about 4 yards.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much. Do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
To his throw, caught by his receiver, Hill.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
It was Jamel Dean who came up to make the tackle.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He finds his man. Complete. It's Ellis. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
On first down, It's Bates, and this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. From the gun, it's Tua. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki.
He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
Here we go.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Hey, what's this?
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Bates. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Ultra.
They'll try again.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there.
With his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Taken at the goal line.
Well, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get it to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
right?
Yeah,
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Straight ahead, Etienne. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence.
And a completion to Wilson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27th.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done?
Looking for Austin, intercepted.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In the case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
This one taken just inside the 10.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The 40. Still going inside the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Miami. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now Lawrence.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
Back deep is Tyreek Hill. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Dolphin football.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Now Tua. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They'll run on 1st down.
Bates. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
Looking for Austin, intercepted.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Jaguars will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Yeah, he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Here's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game,
he's got a man complete, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is up to 8.
Dolphins 21, Jaguars 13. Jason Sanders, the kicker on one.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
On second down, Cook. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Wilkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
From midfield now, Lawrence.
Throw left side complete. That's Wilkins.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On second and inches, Lawrence. He finds his man complete. It's Wilkins.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Hey, Haywood!
On 2nd and 10, Lawrence. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Lawrence going to throw again.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that'll get the lead down to 5.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks, you told us, end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So we've come to halftime at a 5-point game. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, Charlie!
Lawrence. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple.
Running the toss here to Dillon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Sanders' kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are. But what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it and take it away from them.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw complete there to Smith.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Now Lawrence.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to kick it away.
Now Hill to return it.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 18-yard line.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10.
At their own 18. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Second down at 4.
Ready?
Now a give right side. It's Bates, and he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They played so well throughout this entire game.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
So that time, Charles, a quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, and Next Gen Stats says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Lawrence now off the bootleg.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilkins. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10.
Okay, ready?
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here we go.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Tua going to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Tua sets up to pass it. And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He finds Wilson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time you wait for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up the first down.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth. Etienne up the middle. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last two possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I think I like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Hunt is in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. So part one of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the fourth. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the timeout, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. On first down. Now the ball comes loose, and the Jags grab it. Room here to run. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They took the long way. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
A handoff for Etienne. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game. Trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Recon, look at you fire.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready, break.
A give, running right, ETN.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. Back to the ground. This time Cook. 4 yards the pickup. First down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They run again on first down. Cook. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Now Lawrence to throw.
A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And his kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
From the 41, Tua. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, They deserve a ton of credit, too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 44-yard line.
Let's go now.
Here's Tua. Austin is there and brings in another one. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Tua finding Gesicki there for a Dolphin first.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
Tua. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. He is going to find Hill here. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Tua to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Now a give, right side. Bates. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want to.
Without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one that was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Tagovailoa. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fields it right around the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Isaiah Rodgers. And he finally runs out of gas, but not before he's inside the 10-yard line.
Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure. They thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep him out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Give to Cook out of the gun, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. For the lead, here's third and goal. Back to throw, Lawrence. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Dolphins have just about sewn up this football game. just when you thought this game might be turned on its ear, a late interception pretty much going to seal the deal.
Yeah, boy, talk about having your backs to the wall. This defense, they look like they were in danger of surrendering this lead, but they knew they needed that one play, and they got it right there, partner.
Ready up.
Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and a little bit of a surprise they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future they've got work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for the Dolphins, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, add one more loss to the column. That drops them to a woeful 1-9 so far. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.
Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birth most the chains in the game? No. Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding the like we knew it all, not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, to look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper. They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbillies. Q-Bone staying with the lick. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, can be pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border. So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, it's the sound system. Let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up. Up, a little louder, turn it up. We never turn it down, universal sound. When we move the pound, take a look around. When we touch the town, not the way, stomping in my big black J's. Corny, get stuck in the maze. We never suffer fools, had enough of you. False friends and loose ends make me wanna fool. That we got another world tour, touching every shore. From Cali to Singapore. Every day I'm seeing more in the temple as we rock up tempo instrumentals. I saw my dream in the